It's something that's going to kill our generation if we don't get the help that we need. It's a disease. Five years ago is when I decided that I needed to change my life, that from the age of 13 until I was 44 years old, I was an active addict. About a year ago, I saw anonymous people, and for the first time, it hit me that there's nothing to be ashamed of. You know, I can talk about this, and maybe by talking about it, I can help people, because in the last year, I lost 3 high school friends. This past November, I lost a friend, and 2 days ago, my stepson lost a friend to addiction. And you're talking from 20-year-olds to a 44-year-old. This can't be a secret anymore. You know, people are dying, and I feel like I've been given a gift of sobriety. I've been given a gift of freedom from the obsession, from the drugs and alcohol. And so I need to give it back to people. I want to help people. I don't want people to have to die and people to lose people, you know, or I have to sit and talk to my stepson because he's so upset. You know, that's the reality of this disease. Either you die, you're in jail, or you get sober and clean. And if you were to ask me if when I was a little girl, what did I want to be? I definitely wouldn't have said a drug addict or alcoholic. And I had a parent that drank, was never there. It was a very dysfunctional family. And as I remember, I always felt different. I always felt like I didn't fit in anywhere, even in school. You know, I thought I was never good enough, and those empty feelings and scared feelings. I had fears of things that were just not right. When I was 13, I snuck out and I went to a party, and this is, normal people do not remember exactly where they were when they had their first drink, what they were wearing. And I could tell you, I had my AC/DC shirt on, my baseball shirt, AC/DC. I had my jeans and my sneakers. And that's when I had my first drink. And that feeling of, wow, I could fit in. It was like an instant feeling. And that took me on a trip that I had confidence, I had the ability to socialize, the ability at the time that I thought to fit in. Like I felt like confidence. It gave me this self-esteem, maybe, in the beginning of it. Through my teens, I just started getting into the drugs and the cocaine. I got into some trouble, but I kind of stayed low under the gun. Legally until later on. I met somebody and I got pregnant when I was 19 years old. After she was born and I really laid off the drugs and the drinking, those feelings of not fitting in started to come back and started to hit me again. Like I didn't feel like I was a good enough mother and things like that. And so I started to use again. I got back into the heavier stuff again. I would stop here and there as far as like maybe 2 months. And then those feelings started to come back. And I couldn't handle the daily life. I couldn't handle being a responsible adult. I couldn't handle 4 children, raise my kids, drinking and, you know, drugging. Most of the time they didn't see it. I wasn't home a lot. I would leave them with, at the time I was financially stable, and I left them with nannies and people, and then as soon as 2 older ones got older, I left them a lot with the kids. Come up to 44 years old. I had my second divorce. My children were growing up. I only had 2 left at home. And I had my first granddaughter was born. And my daughter said to me, "You can't see her, and I'm not going to let her see you like I saw you." And so that kind of started that 3 months of depression and lots of drug use. And hence I went to the program. When I got to the 12-step program, there was people there that welcomed me and helped me. And it was funny because this one woman, she went beyond what the program requires. She went beyond. She took me in on her couch while I detoxed. She took me to the bank to show me how to bank. She taught me, because I was like a 13-year-old kid when I stopped using. And she took the time and saved my life, basically. I'm an addict, you know, I'm your neighbor, I'm a mom, I'm a grandmother. And the gift that I want people to know in 5 years of being clean and sober, I now have relationships with all of my children. I have 5 grandchildren, and my children leave me with their children. That's a gift. That's a gift that I'm held responsible now for people. People trust me. They count on my word now. That's something that has never happened in my life. You know, when I said I'd be somewhere, I was never there. Today I can show up and be there for somebody, and that happens. Hope happens. I had to do a lot of soul searching. I had to look at why and all the pain inside of me and let that out and let it go. And it's not easy. It's not something that people like to look at, but you gotta let it go. Moms out there will understand. You're supposed to protect your children. I couldn't protect my children. I couldn't do it, and my children got hurt because of this. I had to, in the past 5 years, come to forgive myself, because if I didn't, I couldn't be sober today, and I wouldn't be sober today. I had to forgive all my mistakes. And then there was a freedom. There was a freedom to look at the world and say, what can I do? How can I help the next person? And there are ways to get help. And that's what I'm trying to set up now, is try to get this recovery center going, try to get a detox center, not a rehab center where you spend 30 days, but a center where you spend 7 days detoxing off the substances, and then be able to walk with them through the process. You know, be that coach to help them learn how to parent, not take away their children, not punish the addicts, not throw them in jail. There's a need for it, and not to have people scared that, you know, because it is happening here. It is happening in this little town. Talk to little children about emotions and feelings, because that's where I believe my addiction is from my emotions, not being able to handle them, feeling the feelings that I had, not being able to talk about the feelings. I was never heard. I was never heard when my behaviors were acting out and stuff. No one ever asked me what was going on. They just punished me for what I was doing. And the more I acted out, the more, I wouldn't say attention, but the more, you know, it didn't matter. The more I felt bad about myself, you know, even though I was drinking and drugging, and I said it made me feel social, inside I still felt bad, you know, I still felt empty. It didn't matter how much I used, and I think that's the problem. I always needed more. And because it is a disease of more. It's not, you know, I have never heard of somebody using less. The group of mental health, or the lack of mental health we have around here, we need to get more of that to do peer-to-peer groups in schools, and not in high schools, in elementary schools, you know, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. I look back now and imagine my youngest child, you know, seeing his mother passed out drunk. How that 2nd grader must feel. And he's not the only one in that classroom. You know, that's what's going on. And so they grow up that way and they think it's okay. Misbehaving in school, not showing up late. If somebody just pulled me, at 12 years old, I would have definitely talked then. If somebody just asked me, how are you feeling about yourself? What is going on? Later teen years, it was too late. But if you look at like 10, 11, if somebody would have just reached out and even bring me to a group with other 10-year-olds, and we talked about emotions and feelings, and people started opening up and started talking about sadness or feeling different or being afraid of being made fun of, and, you know, all those fears. Peer groups are, to me, the most important. Is, you know, a peer group that has the same identification. Because, you know, you could talk to 2,000 addicts and you're going to hear all different stories, but we can come together in one room, those 2,000 addicts, and all have a bond together that they have my back. I went to another different meeting the other day, and to sit around a table and to share what was on my mind and not be ashamed was amazing. And it's been such a long time of everybody wanting to hide it that it's now an epidemic. This is a disease that doesn't go away. It's not like something they can fix. How you fix it is by talking about it. You know, I look in the mirror for the first time in 48 years and I love myself. And that doesn't mean that I'm conceited and I think I'm perfect in this. I love myself, because if I don't love myself, I can't love anybody else here. I can't love my children, I can't love my grandchildren. And to walk in and to realize that I was lacking all of this for all these years is pretty tough work. It's not easy getting sober, and it's not easy getting clean, but you can do it. You absolutely can. There is no reason why you can't. It's just hard work. I had to look at my daughter and tell her that I was sorry. You know, I had to first make a living amends, which was basically showing her that I'm not going to use. But when I had to go to her and start to hug her, you know, and feel that she didn't like it, and feel that I didn't like it, and now it's an automatic hug. It's an automatic I love you. That never happened, and she's 27 years old. So, you know, I don't want a young mother to feel like I did at 44 years old. I want to help that young mother learn how to love. It's not natural. It's not natural for me not to use drugs and alcohol. When I have a crisis, the first thought in my head is to numb myself. The second thought is call somebody, because I am clean and sober now. But my first year of being sober, I had cancer. And I said to my higher power, I said, why? You know, I got sober, I'm clean, I'm doing good, why do I have to have cancer? And it changed my life. It changed my life. I was angry, and I was able to feel angry. I was able to feel every emotion through the cancer. And I did it without drugs. And so I know you can do it. I know other people can do it. Everybody can do it. Anybody can get sober. It doesn't matter how you feel, you can do it. And I want to be that support. I want to be that person that holds that person until they can stand up on themselves. 5 years ago, there wasn't a system like that. That's what I want to make, a system in this state or in this town. I'm starting small. I say state, country, world, whatever. This town, that we can hold these people up until they can be held, they can hold themselves up, because that takes a long time. A long time. It's a daily process. Part of my story too is when I was snowmobiling, I ended up fracturing my lower back, and that's how I got into the opiates. It was just so easy to get, and then once I was addicted to it, I just kept chasing it. So, and for years the doctors would give them to me, and I didn't need them. I wanted them. Well, actually, I can't say that I needed them because I didn't know how to stop them. I didn't see I was hurting anyone. 2 of my children do not drink. Do not allow that into their house. And I think the biggest part in the change for them is honestly that emotional release of all that pain that that was caused. And now that they have a relationship with me, I think those are the 2 biggest things that were an impact, a good impact, because they have their mother now, so in a different way. As if I had a movie of me 5 to 10 years ago, and we could play it, it would not be me sitting here. I am so different. I never thought that I could love another human being. I thought the world was bad. I thought that I was bad. I thought that I was a terrible person. I thought that I was sick for the things that I did. I thought that I was nothing but a piece of crap for a long time. I thought I was not good for society. I thought that I should never have had children. I was no good. I really wasn't, inside and outside. I was not acting the way I'm supposed to. And today I wake up every morning and, I'm so grateful to wake up every morning and say thank you, because I have a life. I love myself. For me to say that I love myself is a miracle in itself, because I would harm myself. I would harm myself. I would cut myself when I was younger just to feel pain. People don't understand. I wanted to feel pain because I could not feel. And today, I cry at movies. I cry when I hug my dog. I just have baby chicks and I cry. It's okay. It's okay to feel that. I did not know how, so I had to hurt myself. So I wish I had a movie 10 years ago of me, because I'm not the same person. It's amazing to know that I have a grandson that loves me, and I have 3 grandsons and 2 granddaughters that love me, and it's just amazing. I have a life, and it's not materialistic either. It's not about, if you ask me where I'd be, even I don't know, I lost everything. I lived in a big house and I had this and I had that. I lost everything, and I live in a 2-bedroom mobile home now, and the people that knew me, they laugh. They laugh about it. They're like, you're living in a mobile home? I wouldn't change it for $1 million. If I won $1 million, you could not take me out of my home anymore. It's beautiful. It's a home. I'm happy there. My life is so different. It is so good to wake up and not hate myself. It truly is. I'm running a peer-to-peer group right now for family members, for parents and grandparents. I'm running that on the 1st and 3rd Monday in Claremont. It's a peer base, like I said, but I heard from this woman, her son was using, and I was very against Suboxone and other medications. And this one woman said to me that a year ago her son was on the streets, had nothing, lost custody of his child. In a year time, he's working full time, has custody of his child back, holding a job and doing what he's supposed to, and taking Suboxone the right way. And that opened my mind. You know, people are closed-minded. We're closed-minded, including myself. And so when you open up your thought and try to listen to other people's stories, that changed my mind, because true, you know, her son is using a substance to stay off a substance, but he's functioning. And if that works, I have to be supportive of that. People are very against it. I used to be. They think, oh, there's the junkies. They'll say there's the junkies, they're going to get their drugs. And yeah, absolutely. I think that people think it's just one drug from another. But if we can get people to function, and that's why when I say recovery center, I don't mean just to get off the drugs, because it's not about the drugs and the alcohol. It's a way bigger picture. It's about teaching people what they need to know, teaching them parenting, teaching them life skills, teaching them how to interact with humans. It's not okay to swear at people. I never knew that until I was 45 years old, that it wasn't normal to go into a store, and if I get mad at somebody because they made me mad, it wasn't normal to swear at them. I did that. Once the drug's gone, they need to learn everything. They need to learn. So we need parenting centers, we need banking classes, we need social skills, we need job interviews, how to do a job interview. We need jobs. We need people, we need to find people that are willing to take a person that has a felony, that is in recovery, that will be willing to take that chance to give that person a chance. You know, it's not just recovery, but the first thing is recovery center, a place to go so we can share our stories. We can maybe give hope to somebody, because for me, the big thing is hope. There are doctors that are in recovery, there are firemen, there are nurses, there are grocery store workers. When you become sober and you become living a sober and clean life in long-term recovery, you can work, you can hold down jobs, absolutely. I'm part of the community. I'm law-abiding. Instead of calling the police on everyone and being a burden, embarrassing my children. I want to help the community. I don't want to just sit home and do nothing. I want to make this change. I want to give to people what I've gotten in such a short period of time. It is everywhere, and if we don't do something, if everyone doesn't reach out to help, it's just going to get worse. And you're not alone, because I believe that almost everybody knows somebody that has used or is using, and it could be your son, it could be your daughter, or it's a friend's daughter or friend's son. Absolutely, there's hope. That first day I walked into the 12-step program, I was given hope. That's the word that I had. When I left there, I cried for 3 hours, because for the first time in 44 years, I did not feel alone. So I want to give hope to people. And there's absolutely, and for me, hope stands for hold on, pain ends. And it absolutely does end. There's so many people that have made it. Don't give up. My message is not so much where I was, it's where I'm going. To sit in front of my children and tell them I didn't know how to love them, and to tell them I love them today, huge success for me. And to hold my grandbabies, or that's my gift. That's my gift. And not to be looking over my shoulder and not to having those cravings, but being able to talk about the obsession when it clicks in my head. Because addicts, that's what we do. We obsess and we do that, and it's okay. But it's not okay to use. I feel like I'm a puzzle still being put back together and still trying to figure out this sobriety, clean life, how to live it. You get resistance from people. I was told no to put flyers up in a few places. That's sad. Hopefully someday it won't be like that. I got sober. I'm staying clean. That is a miracle. There are people dying, and it needs to stop.